Hi, I'm Linda Padgett, and this is the Living Christian Virtue Series. Hi, today's virtue is contentment. The opposite of contentment is covetousness. That's a tongue twister right there for you. Covetousness. How about discontent? That's the opposite of contentment. I want to read you this definition of contentment because it's kind of painful. It says, realizing that God has provided everything I need for my present happiness. The last town I lived in, we lived there for about 13 years, and about half of those years I loved being there, and the other half I hated it. I couldn't wait to leave. I was so unhappy. And I tried to bloom where I was planted, and because I just knew that it wasn't time for us to leave. We wanted to go, but it was very clear to us that God was not leading us away at that point, and so we had to stay. And I would fluctuate between being content and thinking it was okay where I was, and absolutely going insane with desire to leave. But when I was really doing well with contentment, I decided that I would make my home all that I wanted it to be. I wanted to live in the country and have beauty and gardens and all of that. And so I started doing that in my own little yard. I made myself a beautiful little garden, and we started having animals. We put chickens in our backyard. We just made it what we could make it right there because we couldn't leave yet. It wasn't time. And so we just did what we could do there. I think the problem with contentment, here is why I think some of us justify our lack of contentment. There's something in us that we want more. Whatever it is in your life right now, whether it is a move, it's to move to a different place. Maybe it's a different job. Maybe you just don't like the way life is flowing for you right now, and you feel like there's something more for you. You're just not content. You want something different. And it's easy. I think there's a lie inside of us that says we have to remain discontent, because if we get comfortable with where we are right now, then we're never going to move. We're never going to leave. What if I all of a sudden say to God, okay, I'm going to learn to be content. I'm going to grow in virtue and be content where I am. Do you get a fear that if you become content, that God's going to never give you what you really want in the first place? That He won't give you the desires of your heart? That would be totally a lie I have believed, because I have a wrong understanding of who God is. I believe God to be a killjoy who wants whatever I don't want. If I want something, then He doesn't want it for me, because He doesn't want to see me happy. He doesn't want to see me blessed. But the truth is, if these desires that we have inside of us for change, if these desires are good, if they are from God, then God will see them brought to fruition. He will see them happen. But until that happens, we have to learn to be content with where we are. But don't be afraid that just because you become content, that all of a sudden your desires and your dreams will never happen. That's where faith kicks in. We have to believe that God wants to bless us. We have to believe that God is leading us. But we have to believe that right now, this is where I need to be. That God is taking care of all my happiness right now where I am. And that He can take care of my future happiness when the time is right for that. Contentment is a tough one, especially if you're a driven person who likes to see change, who wants to keep growing and all of that. And that's me. I like that. I like change to a degree. I like to grow. I like trying new things, adventure. So lack of contentment, discontent can easily find a nice little seated padded place in my heart. But virtue of contentment basically grows faith in our heart. When we are content, when we trust God at being content where we are, then that's faith that grows. And we all need to grow in faith. When we trust Him to do what's best for us, when we trust Him in His timing, and when we trust Him in His best, He will do the best for us. He will take care of us. His timing is always right. So trust Him. Trust God with your future contentment. And be content where you are. And believe for the great things that will come ahead in the future.